Hey guys, it's Flo here, coming at you on, Thursday afternoon. Nice sunny day here in the United Kingdom. And I just wanted to do a little ramble. Probably won't be as kind of in-depth as the last one. Just want to go over some of the changes this week. Obviously yesterday was another day of drama with a new update, and there were some UIM changes, which is really exciting. So I wanted to go over that. Just sitting here on my Zeroni account. So I'll just be doing some of this in the background and then flicking over to the news post a bit later on. Just wanted to say, as always, a massive thank you to you guys for your support. The last video was a bit of a different one for me. I went into something that kind of, I'm not an expert on botting and things like that. I just wanted to kind of talk about my opinions, which is what these rambles are. These are just kind of my thoughts. Like I always say, whilst I'm in the shower going about my day, I have these thoughts and I think, oh yeah, let's come and record a little video for you guys. So I know a lot of you enjoy it. So yeah, please continue the support. It's a free way to support the channel. And it's great because I love making these videos for you guys. So the more likes, the more subscribers, and the more comments and interactions on the channel and the videos means a lot to me. So yeah, keep up the support, guys, and I hope you're all having a great day. I'm just going to be starting off doing some farming here. And speaking of Zaya, very quickly, I am still editing the next episode. I know it's been a very long time, but I am actually editing footage from way back in December now, so I am quite far behind, so I've got a lot of footage to kind of catch up on, so please do bear with me with that one. I've had some exciting real life developments. Just gonna be lazy and put some normal compost in there, hopefully to get a better yield. I need to go get some more super compost, but yep, in real life I've had some really interesting developments with work. I recently got a promotion that some of you guys, if you follow me on cool. If you guys follow me on Twitter, you would have seen that I got a new position, new promotion, and I've just clicked onto ABS, not RuneScape. There we go. A new promotion, which has been awesome. So that's been kind of taking up a lot of my sort of time preparing for that, interviewing for that. I'm also in the throngs of publishing my thesis as well, which has taken a bit of spare time to do. I'm essentially just refining my huge piece of work I just did into something a bit more compact and hopefully getting out in some journal or conference papers. So that is something exciting. If you want to keep up with my real life updates, do follow me on Twitter, twitter.com/LawrenceTheDev1. I'll post the link up here somewhere. I'm pointing, even though you can't see me. But yeah, I'm just making my way up to Shazen. But let's get into the meat and bones of this little ramble here. And I'm going to flick up the old news post and then put it in a position where I can kind of see it and see the game at the same time, because I'm just might as well run some laps whilst I'm doing this. So death pile changes. So they have made some changes to death piling as a UIM, which is what I am. So death piling on my Zeroni account isn't really something I'm going to be doing potentially until I do Kingdom Divided and I unlock the respawn in Karen Castle. I don't want to be going off there for any reason whatsoever, so death piling is asking me to do that. However, on my main UIM, which if you guys haven't already, I'm going to put up a little link up here to watch the first episode of my progress series, and that's just me going through the progress sort of month by month on my main UIM. So yeah, go check that out. But I do death piling on there. So what have they done? So I'm just going to read through this blog post and then sort of explain a little bit of it to you. If you bear with me 2 seconds, I'm just going to actually try and do that so I can see that and then move that over. That's better. Right, cool. A little bit of jiggery pokery in the background there. So death pile changes. As discussed recently, the game now recognizes death pile items on your player save rather than the world save. So what does this mean? It means that if you have an item on the ground visible only to you, so untradables or items dropped on death outside of PvP, so we're not talking about you just dropping your items on the floor, we're talking about when you die as a UIM, all of your stuff on you drops to the floor and it stays on the floor for an hour. So that's really important to know that it is to do with that. So what's happening now is where that stuff is, it will be saved when you log off and reappear when you log back in. So the item stays on the ground, but the timer, so that hour timer, pauses when you go offline, which is absolutely fantastic. So that hour-long counter used to count down for just a whole real-life hour, which in a lot of cases, and you've probably seen quite a few UIM series by now, it's for water, and for dramatic effect, lose their entire inventory from dying unknowingly, logging back in maybe the next day, a few hours later, and all of their stuff's gone, which sets people back months, if not years in some cases, with progress, which can be really, really demotivating. Obviously, a lot of people come back stronger, which is great, but some people, that could be a reason for them to stop playing the game entirely, and that's exactly not what we want as players. We want everyone to enjoy it, and I guess Jagex doesn't want that to happen either. They don't want to lose. Right. So it says, please note this does not apply to items dropped in instant areas. So that's important as well. So if you die in an instance, then the mechanics for the instances work slightly different. So that is something I'm not too sure about because I haven't really died in an instance before. I guess maybe it's to do with, because normally your stuff appears outside the instance, so there might be some sort of jiggery pokery with that one. But the key thing here is on death, all your items drop to the floor, they stay there for an hour in game time. So you could death pile, say you're doing some wilder content, right? You can death pile, you get a call from your girlfriend or your boyfriend or whatever, you want to go out for a walk, cool, yeah, wicked, let's go outside, let's get away from the computer for a bit. You can log out and be safe in the knowledge that your stuff's not going to go anywhere, which is awesome, because that's really, really important to keeping things like that. And it means that you can go about your day-to-day life and not have to sort of be like, right, and I've had it in the past where I've gone, right, I've got an hour, I cannot do anything else, I have to death pile my stuff, do this part of the quest that I need an empty inventory for, or pop to the wilderness and do some stuff over there without any of my important things on me. So having that ability, that flexibility to log out is awesome. It's saying that all account types will notice that if they have a setting enabled which drops foods and potions as a supply pile on death, this pile will also benefit from the paused despawn timer and will appear in any world you log into. So it's also not world specific as well. So if I were to die here and then get disconnected, or disconnect, die, whatever, and I don't know what world I'm on, I'm gonna go away and come back and then log into a random world and I'm like, right, where's my death pile? Before this change, I'd be like, I've lost my stuff, frantically hopping through all the worlds, maybe hit the hop timer, maybe not be able to retrieve my stuff in time. So this is massive as well. So I can die on world 301, log back in on world 520, and my stuff would still be there with the timer pausing effect as well. So that's absolutely fantastic. In the future, we may use the system for item drops in mass encounters to avoid the issues we saw when next launched, where so many items dropping the player's drops disappeared. Stay tuned. So this is quite a nuanced thing that a lot of players, even quite a lot of UIMs might not know about as well. It's something that I learned just from being in the UIM community, is that the game is programmed so that a certain radius of tiles can only store a certain number of items on them. And when that item reaches a limit, I think it's somewhere in the realms of 250 odd items, I'm not 100% sure, things start to get deleted with the lowest alc value first. Correct me if I'm wrong down in the comments, but I think it's lowest alc value first. So things that are untradeable, for example, they'll go first, which can be quite detrimental. A lot of people lose things like seed boxes, herb sacks, rune pouches, things that take a long time to achieve. They're not necessarily expensive, but they are invaluable to a UIM. They get deleted straight away. So you're probably thinking to yourself, how does this happen? Because UIM, you only have your inventory on you, so you can have a maximum of 28 inventory slots plus the 28 in the looting bag, which makes 56. So surely that's only 56 items. However, with the addition of things like rune pouch, which obviously adds an extra few slots for runes, with the seed box, which obviously you have 6 different stacks of seeds that you can have in there, But then also you have the herb sack, which can contain a large amount of herbs in it. That's where you start to run into some problems. And if two UIMs are death piling or on the same world at the same time in the same spot, there is the potential for them to have over the limit, the tile radius limit of items, and to start deleting each other's items. A lot of times this is not malicious, this is unknowingly happens. But there could be instances where people want to sort of troll other UIMs and maybe death pile bomb them by just having an inventory full of stuff and just, you know, dying constantly next to them. Who knows, I don't know if that actually happens. But again, this is quite a nuanced issue. So what they're going to be doing is they're going to be changing the coding system there. It's interesting that it took what happened at Next for it to be a big thing. Although I do know that the JMods, especially Light and Nin, who pop into the UIM Discord that I'm in quite frequently, they know that this is quite a big issue and they're trying to fix that. That's more of an engine thing rather than an actual gameplay thing. So that's absolutely fantastic. So that was the cause of yesterday's issues. You know, I love a bit of RuneScape Twitter. You saw my post yesterday. I said Wednesday should be named OSRS Twitter Day because yes, there was an update with Guardians of the Rift, and they did the death pile changes at the same time. However, in certain areas of the game, you could drop untradables and they would appear for others to pick them up. Therefore, people were very quickly dropping things like Infernal Capes, Avers Assemblers, things like that over to level 3s. And I haven't seen any screenshots. I only saw a screenshot of one. Is it Avers Assembler, the one with the Volcav head in it? I can't remember the name of it. One of those on the floor. I think it was the next room, which was the key issue for that, ironically. Next again. Where that happened, where people were able to pick that up. And that was obviously just a coding check fail that said that, you know, dropped items untradable in this area can't be picked up by other people or aren't visible to other people, that kind of thing. So that caused a lot of issues there. You know, a simple code check meant that the game had to be turned offline and had to be rolled back to just before the update, which is a similar thing that happened back with the I've forgotten it already, even though I had so much fun playing it. Leagues 3, when that happened, there was some pretty big game-breaking bugs, and they had to close down the game and roll it back. Which, you know, Jagex have said, or the JMods have said, this is a very, pardon me, it's a very rare occasion that they do have to roll back, and it does take them a lot of time and effort to do. And they only do it as a last-ditch attempt. So, so that happened. I'm going to switch back to me running maps. That's slightly more interesting than just looking at the same page again. So yeah, so that happened. Where they had to roll back the game. Unfortunately, those who were super keen on the Guardians of the Rift minigame meant, and some of them actually had the pet already, meant they lost their pet. I don't know if there was the old third age pickup during that time and someone lost third age or lost jobs or whatever, but that happened. You know, people might blame the UIM community for that. I don't really see any hate for that. I think people are more annoyed about the rollback, but it kind of goes back to the whole thing that I've kind of nuanced before and I talk about a lot on Twitter, is that the game does need some stability updates in its code. They need a really good QA team that can actually think about all these different things. So I know it's hard to think about every single different area that could go wrong, and also maybe just clean up the code, get a new code infrastructure and sort of, I don't know, things like that cost a lot of money, and I don't think they lose that many players after instances like this. But hey ho, these things happen, yet we still escape on, which I guess, you know, they're kind of a bit sort of complacent towards that fact, maybe, I don't know. Anywho, I think that's a fantastic thing, the UIM death pile changes. So just to go over it in clear terms now, if you die on a UIM, your stuff gets stored to your character for 1 hour. You can log off, you can hot wells, you can do what you want. You can go back to your spot when you log back in, and you've got an hour of in-game time to retrieve those items rather than an hour out game, which is great, you know, because sometimes people death pile and something happens and they can't log back in for a while. Yeah, that's been quite a big thing recently. You can now get your stuff back, and there shouldn't be too many issues of not knowing what world you're on or not being able to log in within an hour. So that is a big thumbs up, happy flow with that change. Also, we had the new rune crafting mini game. I'm going to take another sip of water real quick. Excuse me. bit of drinking ASMR maybe, which I hate, so I do apologise. New runecrafting minigame. Runecrafting is a skill that I do not really train. On this account I have 6 runecrafting, and that's just from getting up to 5 runecrafting for a quest and then getting some XP off the back of that. And on my other account I've trained runecrafting the bare minimal at the library, and then it's just what my tiers of Gothic score, and it's my weekly training. So I actually was excited about this, and I hopped in for a few games last night on my main account on Flow the UIM, and it was actually really good fun. The mechanics are really easy to pick up. You know, there's different elements and things you can do. It's kind of like an expansion of, I guess, I've not played it from what I've seen, of Temporos, Fishing Dodd, as we call it. I, where you do multiple different actions to basically power up the Rift Guardian, and defend the Rift Guardian as well. And then once it gets to 100%, he closes the portal and all the absolute people go away. That's essentially how it works. I'm not going to do a big rundown on it because you know, loads of people playing it. It's a really simple thing, and I'm probably going to go over how it works a bit more in depth on my monthly UIM progress, because I'm going to stay there for a little bit. I think I got a runecrafting level from actually training runecrafting yesterday doing it, which was fun. Not too sure how the point weight system works. I did a few games and I think I got some lore runes and a talisman, and maybe some other runes, and that was it. However, whilst you're in the game, you can craft runes, and you get to keep those runes whilst you craft. These like energy runes that you give to the Guardian, you feed to the Guardian, so that's really cool. So I've got a few free nature runes and chaos runes and earth runes and stuff like that, so all good things. You don't need to death pile, you can be death banked. It's a safe minigame, 100%. It's a skilling minigame. You can also train a bit of mining and crafting at the same time as well. So all you need is a chisel and a pickaxe. I was just using the bronze pickaxe that was there, but I might switch over to a rune pickaxe, because you do spend a lot of time mining these stackable essence fragments that are then converted into bigger runes that can be charged and then fed to the Guardian, and that's, I guess, how you get more points, is via your contribution. So I'll probably be doing that with like a rune pickaxe, because I ain't going to be getting a dragon pickaxe anytime soon for that minigame. So yeah, I'll be playing that a little bit, probably over the weekend, in between real life stuff and editing the next episode of the Zaya Only. So yeah, keep an eye out for that. If you've made it this far, you are one of the real ones, and thank you so much. If you're not already subscribed, please do subscribe. I'm actually going to, I haven't done this before in real time, but I'm going to quickly have a look, because people like to do the whole YouTube Studio, right? Just loading up YouTube Studio. People like to do the whole, you know, X amount of people are subscribed to the channel. This is why you should subscribe. Let's have a look at analytics. Got X number of viewers, I guess. Audience. Subscribers. Watch time from subscribers. Right, so 62.8% of you are not subscribed who watch these videos, so please do subscribe. It's a free action that takes about 2 seconds. It means this videos and my videos go out to more people, helps build the channel, more sort of growth for the channel. On that end means that I'll be kind of motivated to put out more content, because I'll get more interaction with you guys and stuff like that. So please do hit that subscribe button. It's really, really awesome, and again, it's a free way to support the channel. And yeah, share it with everyone you know as well if you like this content. Just tell me, you know, keep it up. If you don't like it, tell me what you don't like, and we can change it maybe, who knows. So yeah, I'm gonna kind of close off today before I ramble on about YouTube algorithm and metrics and data and stuff like that, blah 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 blah. So yeah, just to summarize, really, final summary: UIM Death Mechanics good, runecrafting minigame good. Didn't mention it, but runecrafting pet looks atrocious. It looks like a really rubbish Silent Hill 2 monster. That is my doorbell going off. I'm just going to go grab that. 2 secs. Alright, I'm back. The runecrafting pet looks like a Silent Hill 2 monster. I thought it was going to be that big Rift Guardian thing, but that's a transmog. So, you know, They did a great work. The minigame looks great, but I think the pack could have had a little bit of work on it. But hey ho, you know, we voted for it, so we got it, and yeah, that is it. So yeah, maybe I'll get some uniques in that, and I'll show that off in my progress video. But for now, I'm going to close off. I hope you guys have a great day, staying safe out there, and I will see you again in Gillinor soon. Bye for now.